And we are live. What is going on? And happy Turtle Tuesday, everyone. And hey,
It's,
what's
ano-
going on, Robert?
it's another Turtle Tuesday already.
It is another. I know these weeks have been like now that we have like Mutant Mayhem stuff, like weeks are like going by fast now.
It really is. Like there hasn't been anything new Mutant Mayhem, but it's like that's all anybody's been able to talk about all week. So
Right. We actually do have some Mutant Mayhem stuff like that is
we
like
do.
we do. The thing was it was revealed Wednesday, so it was a week later. So you guys already probably talked about it this
Oh
week
God, I'm
on your
trying to think about what we could. Oh, I think it was the toys, wasn't
the
it?
toys. Yes, it's the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because last week we only got to talk about the turtles and the van. We got some more. We got like a New York Day of Play today. That's on our news for this week. But this week on our audio podcast, we will be talking about the episode. Oh gosh, I'm already forgetting. It's not the Dimension Next Story. It's the one before it. This is what happens when we record soon.
That's
Oh,
so far behind me that I forgot.
yeah. What's Michelangelo good for? That's the episode that we're going to be talking about. And
Oh,
yeah, we get to talk about my most hated character ever, Pigeon Pete.
love Pigeon Pete.
I never liked Pigeon Pete. But like in the original series, like he's like not really a character. But as soon as like Anna like saw him, she started laughing and she was like, "This is the character you hate." I was like, "No, you don't understand. It's the." It's the other like his other incarnations. I don't like I didn't even know he was in the original series. What did you guys talk about this week on Ninja Turtle Power Hour?
So this week we jumped back into IDW for our Armageddon game roundup.
Nice.
So our Armageddon game recap. So we covered issue 137 of the ongoing series, and then Armageddon game number 5 and the Alliance number 5.
I
So we're
just
officially in the back half, we're actually in the last third of Armageddon game.
Oh, nice. I just read issue 3. It is like pretty interesting. I'm liking it so far. I will
Of
say,
Armageddon game
yeah,
or the
Armageddon.
Alliance? Because okay,
Armageddon game. I haven't made it to. I actually have not started the Alliance yet because that costs money, and I'm like, I haven't like gone around to spend money yet on stuff.
because there's a particular order you have to read everything in. So
Yeah, I saw like the check marks and everything.
yeah,
And
because it's gonna get real confusing.
it's gonna get real. Okay. So you're saying I need to start picking up those alliance issues and start
Yeah,
reading.
unfortunately, because they do because well, maybe not the Alliance issues, but the
Uh,
Alliance, but definitely Armageddon game in the main series. You need
yeah,
to
that's
kind of
what I've been
read
doing.
hand in hand.
I've been doing just Armageddon game in the main series.
But Armageddon game or the Alliance number 4 specifically ties into issue 136. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you have to kind of you kind of have to play with everything.
Gotcha. I mean, I
Or just
have
listen to the
plans.
Ninja Turtle Power Hour and we'll recap it all for you.
That is like to be honest, that is like 100% my plan. When I get to probably when I get to number 4, like any part like I'm confused or something like that, I'll probably go like I have your episodes like downloaded and I'm returning to the office starting tomorrow once a week. So
Oh,
I will actually start listening to podcasts again. Like so I apologize all you podcast creators. I used to listen to you guys all the time, but then like I've been working at home and like but now I'm going back to office. I need something to listen to because I don't I want to hear I like to hear people talk while I work. It's a weird
well, there
thing.
you go.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm the same way.
yeah. Uh, but that's what's going on our channels. But let's go ahead and get with this week's news because we got some like really interesting stuff. And the first thing I do want to talk about is was not on my bingo card, and that is Shredder is coming to Call of Duty out of all the games.
Yeah, that I saw that and I was just kind of like, huh. I think my
Yeah,
specific tweet was,
yeah. So like
just
when I
a
saw
real
that.
random collab.
Yes, I mean because okay, so Ninja Turtles are collaborating with video games. This is not anything new. We've seen it We've seen it, like, especially in the last few years, a lot. Like, they were in Smite, where like they're running around fighting gods. They were in Brawlhalla, and then of course all the various Nickelodeon games, which you expect them to be in Nickelodeon games. Even Injustice, like even that, but like this one was like what?
Yeah.
Mainly because the Ninja Turtles, like, they don't use guns. Neither does Shredder. He's a but so this is going to be the Shredder Operator bundle, which is going to be released next week on March 21st. The bundle will cost you 2,400 COD points, and it will include Shredder Operator, vehicle skin for Light Tank, KV Broadside Oroku Shotgun, dual Kodachis, Steel Claws melee weapon, weapon vinyl, ISO Hemlock Saki Assault Rifle, and Foot Clan Weapon Charm.
Not gonna lie, I only understood like a few words out of all of that.
I mean, honestly, like, like the thing is, like, when I was like looking for this and everything, I was like, oh, he's an operator. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like in the background? Like, is he going to be on the phones? Like, what is this?
Is he a ninja? And are there ninjas in Call of
I
Duty?
don't know. I really don't know. I mean, he is coming with a shotgun, and like, so you will have his skin. This is going to be available in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Um, and if you guys are wondering, 2,400 Call of Duty points cost $19. No, I'm sorry, $20. $19.99. Um, Mike, do you play Call of Duty?
I do not play Call of Duty. No.
I have not touched Call of Duty ever since I got my first tech support job, way back when. And at night, because like we had like no managers, and like the call volume was so low, we had Call of Duty installed all of our computers, and this was Call of Duty 1, guys. You got to understand. This
Mm.
is like they were still like in this is like beginning with the World War II or whatever. And like, but yeah, we would like just play Call of Duty like while we were waiting for phone calls and everything.
We did it. We did a similar thing in high school. We had Counter Strike installed
Yeah.
on the computers or on one computer, and so we just had a big LAN party, which was cool.
That
But yeah, I have not played Call of Duty, any of them really. So this isn't going to make me start.
I am going to be honest, because like most of these games, like I did like I remember I bought Injustice 2 for the Turtles, but I was already into fighting games. I
Mhm.
got both Smite and Brawlhalla for the Turtles, but they were free to play games, and I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. And it was also a local video game for like a local video game developer for me, because they're literally down the
Mm.
road. I passed their office, um, and like just some of the other stuff, but this one I have zero interest. I was never good at first person shooting games. I don't like guns. I mean, that's just me personally.
Mm.
Like, I never was that either. Even Robert even says he doesn't play that game either. And like
Yeah.
it's so funny because Call of Duty is such a high profile game and a high selling game, but like a lot of people I talk to, um it's not like it. Like a lot of people I talk to is like, oh yeah, I don't play that game. Like I like so but yeah, like the difference between this and like some of the other ones, like there were games I were interested in and they were free to play. This one is,
Mm.
I don't know, I think it's
It's
60
just it,
bucks.
it just feels weird.
Yeah.
Like all of these collabs always feel weird. Like Fortnite is such a weird looking game to anybody. Like if you don't just understand video games, and
Right.
so like, but at least Fortnite seems wacky enough that it just kind of works in a way.
Right.
Here it's kind of like, why is Shredder here?
Right, exactly.
Like, and is it like something to build hype around Turtles again because the movie's coming out in a couple months? Like, it's such a weird thing to collab with. And
Right.
like, yeah, like really the only character that would make sense would be Shredder, but it's like it just seems so weird. And it's like the obvious place to put Shredder would have been like Mortal Kombat uh
Right.
12, if that ever gets, I don't, did it get announced? I can't remember if it got announced.
I don't know. I have like fallen out of the Mortal
I
Kombat.
think 12 got it. I think 12 just got recently announced.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's like Shredder would be perfect there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, yes. To be
and so
honest, Shredder
like,
would
and,
be
and
perfect
even then,
there.
like, and even then it's Activision. So it's like they used to have the Turtles license and now they, I mean, now they don't have
No, no,
it.
no, no. Yeah. Um,
So it's just weird all around.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm glad it exists for people who think this is cool.
Yes.
It's heavily inspired by the original movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
I
to be
mean, it
honest, I
doesn't
like his
look
design.
bad.
Yeah, I like his design. It doesn't look bad. I'm still waiting for gameplay. I just want to see what the gameplay is like with him. But at the same time, this is also a first-person shooter game. So like when you play a Shredder, you don't get to actually see a Shredder. You just see his weapon. You'll probably see his
Yeah,
claws. But that's pretty much it. I mean, to me, this one is like very out of place, but at the same time, if you had to put a Ninja Turtle character in a first-person shooter game, I can't think of anyone like other than Rocksteady and Bebop, because at least they actually have guns, like
yeah,
I mean, but like Shredder was always like with the sword and that kind of stuff. In the cartoon series, he did use the blaster some, but like when you think of Shredder, you think of his claws and a sword. You don't really think of a gun. So
right.
um, yeah. But yeah, for you Call of Duty fans that are excited about it, I'm excited there with you, and let us know if you do pick it up, how it is, how much you like it. Let us know if you're excited for it. I mean, for both of us, unfortunately, this collab is not enough for us to jump down that Call of Duty rabbit hole.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna go buy it, but I'm glad it exists for the people who are excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad it exists. And I will be honest, on March 21st or probably 22nd, I will go find YouTube and Twitch videos of people playing with him. I just want to see the curiosity of how he plays, how he does it, because one, I'm terrible at those games, and I know that I won't do any justice for that character. Also, that's not a game I want to play in front of my children. That's just me personally. Like this in this household, it's been a lot of Mario lately.
Mhm.
Uh, but the next thing I do want to talk about is going into Mutant Mayhem. Before I get in there, Robert actually mentions he's like, yeah, it'd be weird to see Shredder packing heat. Yeah, Shredder packing heat is kind of like, because to be honest, when they first announced it, I thought maybe his like claws were gonna fire out. Like, but this is some Mutant Mayhem news because if you guys remember last week, we briefly talked about it because Toy Shiz talked about how they're doing more reveals after we talked about it. So last Wednesday was Playmates New York Day at Play, and we got some images of some some figures and some playsets that is coming out, and these pictures is from Preternia. So be sure to follow him for a lot of toy news, a lot more toy news than I can give you. But the first thing I do want to talk about is the playset because the playset looks really nice.
Yeah, I am really excited for the playset. I think it's interesting that the playset it has like these like blacked out sections that's like keep out and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like those are like spoilers. Like I feel like those are going to be like pictures of Rocksteady and Bebop and Man Ray and um
You think
like
so? Oh,
other
you know
characters
what?
we haven't officially seen yet. Um
Now that you mention it, it could be. I thought it was just I mean, me personally, I'm thinking it's just part of the thing because of that whole like, hey, this is a kids thing, and like like, oh, this is our
Yeah.
secret layer, kind of thing, and
No,
um,
because it's like because they're it's like spray painted on there.
uh,
And granted, like it's printed on here, it's not like taped on
yeah,
or anything. Um, but they're but if you look at it, like the way like that art, like the keep out and like all those little black splotches, they're all kind of in random places, like over windows and like it feels like they're covering up something.
I mean, now that you said something, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can. I put it in that section that we're talking about. Oh, it kind of it does it like
You see
especially
what I
that
mean now?
confidential, and that classified. Like those could be just missing pieces that like Viacom's like, hey, don't show
Well, yeah,
this.
because like the classified and the confidential look like they're like taped on there, but you see what
Yeah,
I mean? Like it's kind of
yeah,
like grayed out, like it's trying to cover up something. So,
yeah. So,
um,
no,
and it's like it's in places that where characters would stand, like no access and keep out are on like fire escapes.
right. No, you bring up a very valid point I never thought about. So, when we actually get to see the final playset, which is probably, if I had to guess, August. No, I'm sorry, not August. August, that's way too late. It's gonna June. Like June, late June, early July is probably like when we'll see these
Yeah.
uh
Well,
like
the official rollout for the toy line is June 25th, 26th.
yes, because I was
So it's
yeah, I was about to ask you if you had that date. I forgot to write that date down.
yeah. It's June 25th or 26th.
Yeah, it makes
But yeah,
sense
I'm
because you want to give like a pretty much a month before the movie comes out, and then like
yeah.
and then classic movie thing. When toys come out, hey, you get like a bunch of spoilers and speculations. I will say spoilers and
Yeah.
speculations is stuff. Um, so
I'm stoked. So
I'm very stoked. I'm actually really happy about this. Something Robert said is that it's like they used parts of the 2012 sewer set. They probably did, to be honest. I mean, knowing Playmates, but it looks
no,
really fun.
it's all brand new.
Oh, it's all brand new.
Um,
Okay.
I was talking, yeah, I was talking to somebody on in one of the turtles groups on Facebook, and we were
Yeah.
talking about all the play sets, and he had specifically said that like the last couple play sets were the 2012 play set.
Uh huh.
Because it was like the 2012, then they re-released the 2012, and
Yeah.
then Out of the Shadows got 2012 again.
I remember Out of Shadows got 2012 again. I know
Um,
Rise had its own
and then
thing, and then
Rise
like,
and then
but
Rise had its own thing, and so
yeah,
this is the first new one since then,
yeah.
um, and it's completely brand new.
Yeah, no, this one looks fun. I I know because my son is into these play sets. I'll probably get this for him. It's going to be taking up so much room in his house. I'm going to have to take down a Batman or Mickey Mouse play set.
I mean, like I want it for me for like diorama purposes. Like
Yeah,
I want to see it without all of the like blacked out stuff.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you there. And like, I mean, even if the blackout stuff is in the final one, I mean, it's really easy to cover that up with like something and just print it out from your printer. Um, but other things, we also have.
I'm a millennial, sir. I don't own a printer.
How do you not own a
Okay?
printer?
I print stuff out at work. Who owns a printer in 2023?
I own a printer in 2023 because haven't been
Um,
in the office, and for like tomorrow's the first time in 3 years
if I ever
I've been
need if I
inside the
ever need to
office.
print if I ever need to print something, I put it on a flash drive and I take it to work, or I email it to myself and I print it at work.
I will be saying, I will say, like going back because I'm only going to the office like once a week. It is
Mhm.
going to be nice to finally start printing out like stuff on the office printer again because like I had to buy ink for the first time in like 5 years, like
Mm.
last year, and I was like, how do I buy ink? I really was like, I had to get with like Shaq and everything, and he had to show me. He's like, oh, just fill it chill, like but so we also have some more giant turtles come in. Giant turtles are not surprising because ever since the original series, they have been doing giant turtles pretty much every line. I always like the giant turtles just because those have more detail into them,
Yeah.
less articulation. But like I remember for uh, the Ninja Turtles movie, the giant turtles was the only one where Donatello actually had glasses because his he didn't have glasses in the regular size figure because I guess it's the size.
I'd mentioned to my friend James about um the rollout of Playmates figures, and Playmates, like, for the last several generations of turtles, kind of has like a routine. They have a
Yeah,
checklist that they
yeah,
go
they
down.
do
You have the basic figures, you have the giant figures, you have a play set, you have some
role play.
vehicles that you have role play, and
Yeah,
you have the electronic turtle,
yeah,
the
you have the
electronic
electronic
talking
art.
one.
Yeah, electronic
And
art.
it's
That's the
like
next one I want to talk about. Yeah.
you can set your watch to it,
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then if they decide to continue this toy line, I guarantee we will see mutations figures,
I am.
and we will see storage shell turtles.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh, Storage shell is if 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 they continue past the movie because like that like storage shell is something like that's like way down the line
no,
but
no, that's usually like second wave.
uh
That's usually that for Rise, it was second wave. For 2012, it was like second or third wave. Um,
2012 was, I believe 2012 was second wave. Rise was third because I think
no, it
I
was second.
swear, the
They never got they never
Bugbusters.
got they never got to wave they never got to wave 3.
Wasn't wave three the last wave with Shredder, the storage shell, and like the the Don the Mikey with the hair and wrestler Leo? I believe that was wave three.
All
Because
right. I'm going to
yeah,
I proved you wrong last
no,
time.
you have
Let
proved
me
me
prove
wrong.
myself wrong this time.
Yeah, because
Uh
so fun story.
yes, you were correct. Wave 3 was only 3 figures
Oh,
though,
okay,
which is why I didn't like mentally count it. It was
okay,
Wrestling Mikey, the one with the hair,
yeah,
Bull Hop, and Shredder.
sure,
That was it.
yeah. Now, fun fact: my Walmart, th- I I was trying to get them to get Wave Three, and like there were still like turtles like on the Rise turtles on the shelf, and
Mm.
I was like, I really wanted Wave Three to come to that store. There was like I think 6 or 7 figures. I bought all of them, and just so my Walmart will actually order the next wave, and they did order the next wave, and that's how.
I've done that.
Yeah,
Uh so yeah, so according to TMNTtoys.com,
yeah,
which again, if anybody ever has questions about Turtles
yeah,
figures, this is the website to go to.
yeah, yeah.
Um
I agree.
Battle Shell Turtles were wave 2, but
They
they
were
were
wave two.
also in 2018, so I kind of mentally counted them.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So they
Okay,
were in the first year, they were just series 2.
gotcha. Okay. And yeah, if I remember the storage shell, that was also when they started doing the mystery weapons, where they were just, all they were just like leftover original weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we got the talking turtles. I mean they look fun. You press their legs, they're gonna talk. I'm guessing like part of the movie deal with these actors was they had to record lines for these guys, and then uh last week we saw the turtle van. And over here we got more vehicles. We got just some cycles. Um, we have Leonardo in a cycle, and then we got with a helmet. We got Raph in a cycle with a helmet when he has like a little sidecar with him as well.
Yeah, and see, and it's like that's just the futuristic or the modern version of the original Turtle cycle.
Yeah,
Like I said, like Playmates has a checklist that they go down,
yeah,
and it's it's neat to see the new versions of things, but it's hard to get excited because it's just the new version of stuff that we've already had in some cases.
right.
Um,
One
and
thing I was
so like
surprised. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
it no, and yeah, I was kind of done. Like it's just like I said, it's just kind of hard to get really excited because it's all stuff that we've seen before.
Yeah,
Um, and it's like they're not innovating with the toys. because like I said, they're just doing the greatest hits.
Right, right. No, I agree with you. Uh, I will say what I was very kind of surprised about is they only showed turtles. They didn't show any other
Yeah.
characters, and I don't know if that's because they're not ready to reveal them, even though some of them have been revealed in the trailer.
Mm.
Mike and I, we both know of like some more figures that are coming, but we're not going to mention them because they have not been officially announced. Um, but yeah, but I know in Playmates side the turtles are the ones that sell. Like that's why in Rise they had a whole case of the wave of just turtles, which I thought it was very smart that Playmates did that with the Rise figures. Was they did a whole case of just the turtles, and then the other case was like the secondary characters. I thought that was a good way to like kind of like just even it out. Like because as I said, Turtle Cell, the other characters kind of they're the ones that kind of like warm the shelves for like when more turtles come in.
Yeah. Like it is it like I said, you can set your watch by it.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
turtles are always going to sell, so it makes
yeah,
sense that they would reveal those.
yeah,
Like you said, it is interesting that they didn't reveal anybody else, but I mean, we'll find out why soon.
yeah. We'll definitely find out why soon. I mean, to be honest, like knowing like toy companies, they're probably not gonna like formally announce like, oh hey, by the way, here's the villains. It's probably gonna be more of like uh, June 24th. They show a picture on their social page. I'm like, oh, these will be available tomorrow or something like that. It's not like they're gonna uncover them or anything like that. And I do have a feeling by the time the toys come out, we will have our final and full trailer. That's probably something you can set your clock to because that's what happened with the Avengers Endgame. That was a big
Maybe
deal.
not maybe not the final trailer, but we'll be close.
It'll be
We'll
close. It'll be
definitely have
close.
another
We'll definitely
trailer.
have another trailer. I mean, you're probably right. There's probably with this movie we'll have one last trailer to basically say,
Because remember, we only had this was a teaser
yeah,
trailer. This
yeah,
wasn't an
no,
actual trailer.
right. This was a teaser trailer. I mean, I'm only expecting two trailers for this movie because usually kids movie only has two trailers, but we might have
Mario
one.
had three.
That was about to say we might have one last trailer to be, hey, pre-order your tickets.
Yeah.
And because that's been a new thing that's been going on now because ever since movie theaters now allow like you can buy tickets like a month before the movie, they usually
Yeah.
release. That's like when they usually release, and usually the small the last trailer is like very small. It's like 2 minutes long. It's nothing like the actual full trailer. Like
Yeah.
they don't put as much effort, but they just kind of throw some stuff in there just to get you. It's to get you more hyped, and they want you to buy those tickets. They want that box office to be
Well,
up.
I bought my Mario ticket, so
Hey, I still have not, even though they had the buy one get one. I just
I'm so glad I got it to work. The original like code didn't work, and then
uh
like an hour later they posted another code. So
oh
it's like, oh,
okay.
okay, cool.
No, my only reason I'm not buying it, I haven't bought it yet, is because I need to make sure that the like right now my son is like going through this like weird phase, like where we're like, hey, you want to go somewhere, and he's like, nope, and then like we have this whole fun day planned, and we have to like go and call other people and say, hey, we have to cancel our plans because our son doesn't want to leave the house,
That's kind
because
of how I was like with my sister,
uh
because we want to take our nieces, and I was like, do the girls even still like really like Mario? And she's like, I don't know. They're kind of all over the place right now. So I was like, okay, cool. Not buying their ticket.
right,
My
right,
wife and I will go see it, and then
right.
if they want to go, then we'll plan something.
Yeah. But I will say my son loves Mario Party. So I'm pretty sure he'll go see the movie. It's just that hopefully we'll see when he's like playing it. But the last thing I do want to talk about is we have the Super 7 Ultimates Wave 10
Yeah,
announcement. So uh, I will. It's funny because when Super 7 first posted the picture, they had five toys, and then they quickly took it down.
Yeah,
and the other
they
toy is like went in the
somebody
shadows.
goofed. Somebody goofed there.
Somebody goofed there, and I mean, because I was kind of like surprised at first. I was like, wait, okay. And there was also another goof because there was a retailer that like revealed it before Super 7 could reveal it too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it was the night before, like and that's like where everyone started like throwing their pitchforks about the one character we'll talk about in
Oh,
detail.
oh no, I'm talking about the fifth figure.
No,
That didn't
oh,
get revealed.
oh, no, 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 no. The fifth figure did not get revealed with the wave and with the wave
Yeah.
reveal, but the fifth figure character got revealed because like when that retailer goofed up and did it like a few hours early, like the fifth figure wasn't there, and I was kind of like, oh, are they cutting back? And I mean, at the same time, I can see Super 7 cut back on these on it because. Uh, the figures like they're not like selling as much as it was, so I can see them being like, okay, let's stop like doing five, let's cut down to four, which I mean, to
Well,
be
it
honest,
wasn't
financially.
it was more cuz Brian Flynn had said like they understood that 5 figures was a lot for a wave, so they had already addressed the fact that they were going to cut that back from 5 to 4.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
And
look,
then
move it. I was about to say moving like much. Anna is here in the chat and she's waving to
oh,
us.
hello, Anna.
Hello.
Um, and so earlier that morning, Super 7 had posted everything, which and also was really cool because Super 7 is offering free shipping, and they'd
Yes.
only offered and the only 4 figures that were on there were the 4 that you see on YouTube here,
Right.
if you're watching that. So you want to go down the list?
Yep. So we have Rat King, Rocker, Leonardo, Ninja April, and Casey Jones from Mirage. Parentheses Mirage.
So Rocker Leo, obviously the winner here.
Yes, yes. Rocker
Um,
Lee is definitely the winner.
but the original so like those are the 4 figures that were listed on Super 7 store.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, okay, cool, like we know what's coming. But then like an hour later, they posted a different picture
Yeah, they
than
posted
what you
it.
see.
Yeah, they posted a different picture. I'm not posting that picture because that was a mistake, and but
Okay.
yeah, because at first I was like, they took it down. There's a reason why they took it down, and I like I can find that picture. That picture's like a
Oh, I
lot.
have the picture.
Yeah, but yeah, the fifth figure was Karai, which was going to be cool, but for reasons they decided to cut her out from the final wave. So
Yeah, it was really interesting because like it Karai represents a very big change for the Super 7 Ultimates line.
yeah,
Um,
no, I
because as a lot of people may or may not know, Karai was never in the toy line.
no, she didn't enter the toy line until the 2003 series, and she was not in the original 87 series as well. And we've talked to Kevin. There is no relation between Lotus and Karai. Kevin and Peter didn't even know what Lotus was. I'm gonna squash that right now for you guys. That's we mentioned it, and they're like, "Who?" And then I was like, "Oh, that answered our question." Um,
There you
so something Anna says that she is already loving Rocker Leonardo, and she's not a fan of Casey's design. So I
go.
will say,
I love this Casey.
yeah, I will say for Casey, he is a repaint that they released before they released Casey Jones. I think it wave 2 or 3. I think it was 3. And to look like the original figure, but this one he's painted to be more of the Mirage comic, so that's why he has the red shirt. And of course, Rocker Leo is definitely
Wave 4 Casey.
was it?
Yep.
Okay. Rocker Leo is definitely like my favorite of this because I never had the original figure, and he's a really good likeness of that figure, and I love the fact. So the original figure, he had two swords that were guitar necks, and with this one, you can actually put the two swords into the actual guitar itself, and and like make it into like a double guitar. I don't know what the
The
actual
double
term.
neck guitar.
Double neck guitar. Thank
Um,
you.
and yeah, like I had the original Rocker Leo figure. I loved that figure.
I oh
Um,
I only had DJ Mikey and Rock and Roll Raph.
like and well, it's funny because like the only one I have now is DJ Mikey. That's like from a gift from a friend of mine. But but yeah, like the original Rocker Leo was really cool, and like it had this like on the pants, it felt like it was like it felt like it was like denim, like
Yeah.
it was a really cool texture on Leo's pants. And it was funny because like I had like as soon as the picture had gotten tweeted out, I was like, oh hey Karai, hey, can you tell me if you got the real denim feel for Leo's pants? And then they deleted the tweet like
They
a
delete because
minute
your
later.
question. Your
Yeah,
question. They're like,
I was able to get my question out before they deleted the tweet. So
uh, yeah. So, Jake is pretty much bringing up the big thing that we're gonna talk about um right now, and that is, well, Ninja April, and particularly uh, Rat King, do not look like the actual original figures. Ninja April had a much different look in the original figure. She had like this leopard. Um, she had this like leopard print like leotard. I be
yeah.
honest, this Ninja April I think looks so much better.
Oh
Than
yeah, this is a much better design
I like
for
this.
Ninja April.
Yeah, I like the fact that she has like this cross of like she has the turtle outfit with the A with the belt buckle, and then like I love that she has the microphone nunchucks, and she also comes with one of each weapon of of the turtles, and it's wrapped in yellow, and I like in the
Yeah.
yellow bandage. I really um I really like that. All right, yeah. Jake wants us to address the elephant in the room, and that is wrecking. All right. So we're not gonna go too much in detail in this because we're only gonna talk about what we officially know, and yes, Rat King does not look like anything like his original figure. I have described that Rat King looks like his teenage son. like,
Well, I
he
mean, he looks like an anime
he
protagonist.
does. He
So
does. I mean, well, as soon as he came out, the first thing I thought of is that red-haired guy from Bleach. Like, like I was like, "Oh, it's that
you mean
guy."
the main character from Bleach?
Not the main character from Bleach. The one of the Soul Eaters. I can't remember his name. Because I know
Oh,
Ichigo. I know Ichigo, but he doesn't look like Ichigo.
no, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been forever since I've seen Bleach. I know they made a new series.
Yeah, I haven't watched Bleach since
Yeah.
um
Since it got canceled. Yeah. I,
no, I mean since high school.
Now you dated me.
Oh, I think it was Renji?
Renji, there you go, Renji. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen people also describe him as one of the one of the Turks from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
Like
he's got looks like Reno.
Reno. Yeah,
I mean,
there you
yeah,
go.
like he looks like basically any red-haired anime
Anime.
character.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Red hair anime character. And all right. So I meant to write down his name. I forgot to. It's like
is
Kyle.
is Kyle from Super7 was
Yeah.
on the AIC podcast
Actually, he was not
last
on the
week.
podcast. He was
Oh,
not
he
on
was
the
on there. He was on their Instagram, I think it was.
he commented on their Instagram. Basically,
Yeah.
someone asked, is it supposed to be the one? Is it supposed to be the Rat King from the video game? And all he responded with, "It is." That's it. That's all he said. Uh,
Which
so
I can kind of see it.
I can
Um,
I did this
the
picture
red
side by side.
hair, the red hair and the gray and the green scarf are different than how it
His
appears in the
face
game.
is so different from the game too, because his face looked like the original character, And this face, he just has this younger looking face because the face looked like the original character, and like it's
Mhm.
just like his hair, like I mean the hair is a little too wild than the video game was. The video game like just gave him more hair than what he had in the original show. But yeah, the scarf is like a really matches, but it's not the same color. And then
Right.
he also has like all the stitching like he had from the original figure.
And so like it fundamentally is a different figure and does uh does veer away from Super Seven's original mission statement with this line, which
Right.
was to, recreate the original vintage figures in modern aesthetics.
Right, right,
Um,
right,
and
exactly.
so and so I think like what most of the community um is upset about is just the radio silence on it.
Yes.
Um, and it's like
This is what I'm gonna be. This is what I'm kind of upset about because, like they had the video, the announcement video, and like in the announcement video it said, "Hey, we put Casey in the Mirage colors. Hey, we made our own version of Ninja April. This is different uh from the original figure. And
right.
if this figure was supposed to be Shredder's Revenge Rat King, they didn't said jack squat in their announcement video. And I wish they kind of would. I wish they said something like that, other than like we all had to go and finally like someone had to write it is on an Instagram post for us to be like, oh, that's where you're
Yeah.
going for, because a lot of people, like, and I mean, I'll be honest, I played this game at least like 2 weeks ago, and I did not get Shredder's Revenge vibes from him at all.
I didn't get Shudder's Revenge vibes from him. It I don't know. It I talked about this on Facebook too, that it's one of those things. It's like Super 7 does need to say something.
They need
They
to
they
say something.
need to say something.
They
Um,
they do need
are
to
they
say
they're not going to tell us exactly what happened. They're not going to say, "Oh, Playmates is telling us no.
right,
Oh, we forgot to make sure we even could do this."
right, right, right.
That's the thing is like everybody's blaming Playmates,
Well, first,
based off of rumors, and
right.
nobody knows exactly
Nobody
what
knows what
happened.
exactly. I mean, and here's the deal. Like, I mean, Playmates had to sign off on the original figures that look like their figures. It's not like Playmates like turned a blind eye on it. It's not like,
Well,
oh,
we don't know. We don't know exactly.
that's true.
We don't
That's
know
true.
what Playmates. We don't know how involved Playmates was in the original first wave. Um, and that may be a factor. Like I said, we don't know. We may never know.
We may never
Um,
know. Something
and
that we do know is that there was an interview. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the exact interview, but Brian did actually address this a few months ago, and basically, um, what he said was that like with Playmates now, they can't like they can't do the models that are strictly based off their figures, and that's one of the reasons why we lost the weapons rack, because the weapons rack were unpainted and they're in that rack like that Playmates used to do. And so that's I mean, for the longest time I just thought they lost the weapons rack because of cost issues, but it is actually Playmates was the reason, because
do you happen to know what interview that was? Because I asked, somebody brought that up, and I asked them. I was basically like, "Hey, citation needed," because I just needed to see that so I could be like, "Okay, cool, you're right." But they weren't able to show me what interview that
I have a screen shot of it, but I don't know what the
was.
exact, because I don't know if this was I don't know if this was a written interview, or if it was or if it was a YouTube video or something. It's just like that part was
Mm.
cited from Brian in quotes. That and so that's because like the other parts I actually had some of their stuff in there, and I'm not going to talk
Mm.
about their stuff. I'm just talking about what are Brian's words that were in quotes.
Gotcha.
And
And
so
so that's what I mean. It's like
yeah,
there's just a lot of like
and I mean to be honest,
there's
that's
just a lot of info going around.
yeah. There's a lot of info going on, and to be honest, like uh, what what I had right there, what I found could just be someone who just happened to write what that is in quotes and then just and so that might not be accurate itself. That's just what I found
Mm.
like when I was like researching all of this, just because a lot of people kept saying hey it's because of Playmates, and I was like is there any confirmation, and no one could give me confirmation, so I went and try to
Yeah.
track. I'll actually went and try to track this down, because like first like someone said, "Oh, it was in a podcast," and it was not in a podcast. It was an Instagram post, and he literally wrote, "It is," like
Yeah.
so
And it's like Playmates is the easy villain here.
yeah, Playmates is the easy
And
villain. I
we're not I'm not defending Playmates at all. Like
no
I'm not saying that they had nothing to do with this. It's just there's more to the story
right
than what's going on, and just no, like I said, just nobody knows,
right
but
right
everybody's talking like they do.
right.
And
Everyone's talking like they
if you
do.
ask a question like, hey, maybe let's double check on this
Right
before we act like it's fact.
right
It just turns into a whole thing. So
right.
Jake,
There's
thank you for the kind words.
yes, thank you, Jake. And
Like we're not
thanks for listening. Yeah,
we're not being shills or anything. Like we're
yeah.
not like Playmates doesn't pay me to do anything for them.
No, no.
Um
No, they don't
and
pay us. Like
and
they
yeah,
they answer Mike's calls. They're still not answering my calls. I'm kind of like
they do answer my calls. And but I mean I don't know anybody
yeah,
at Playmates that would know this.
right,
Um
right,
and so
exactly.
so that's just why I don't really want to like speculate on anything.
No,
And I'm trying to be, diplomatic to both because,
right,
maybe somebody did screw up on both sides. Like,
maybe. And like I mean, I'm gonna throw my theory, and this is probably this is either this is either true or it's false, but this is what I think. Because when Super 7 was first doing it, that was like when Playmates was still doing Rise, and at that time, like like Rise did wasn't like on the downward spiral on toy sales just yet. So
rub it in, why don't you,
I know. I'm
please?
sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I liked Rise. For all you Rise fans, I actually really like Rise, but I do have to say the facts. The Rise toys didn't sell. I mean, no matter how much you want to go and say something, the fact is they were not good sellers.
Well, I mean, not having no, there weren't really any good toy sellers that year. Toys R Us had just closed.
Toys R Us just closed, and that was a big factor. To be honest, that was a big factor for
I think
the
that was a bigger factor than people just not liking the toys, to be honest,
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
like you couldn't really even find them.
No, no.
Like I only ever found them at like Kohl's
I'll,
after like a year later.
but yeah, so yeah, like at that time, like Playmates probably had no interest into like like their classic designs or anything like that, and like so like Super 7's come in, hey, they do this, they're like they're okay with it and everything. Then like now you're seeing Super 7, they are re-releasing a lot, like they're going hard on the releases, and this was probably a factor because of the Masters of the Universe toy sales and everything, and
Mhm.
uh and like so I have a feeling when that started happening, that's like when Playmates was kind of like, whoa, okay, you can't, we're not going to allow you to do this anymore. We're like, because it might affect our toy sales, and since Playmates has the master license, they get to call the shots. Like, no matter, like, that's something I can tell you as a fact. You know,
So I remember like the original announcement that Playmates had put out. It wasn't really even an announcement. It was like somebody had asked customer support, and customer support had put out the statement.
uh huh,
Um, where it was like the Rise toy line was, uh, she the it was like I forget who it was, but the announcement had said that like Playmates is, she's like, oh sorry, like I'm sorry you can't find the Rise toys, but stay tuned, Playmates will be releasing, like visiting classic figures,
hmm,
and this was like 20, like early 2029, like 2019,
uh huh,
um when this happened, and they were just basically already kind of prepping people for like, hey, uh no more Rise figures, we're gonna dip back into classic.
uh huh.
And that's when they first put out, like, it had been quiet for a while, and I think like we had seen like one reissue figure or something back then, I don't remember.
We had the San Diego Comic Con reissues, like where it was in that turtle van box.
That's right, that turtle van
Turtle,
box, and then
yeah, yeah,
and so yeah, so we kind of like didn't really hear much. um yeah, thanks Jake. Yeah, I knew it was pre-pandemic.
hmm,
I just couldn't remember if it was like 2019 or early 2020.
right,
But yeah, so they had already announced that like they were going to um shift back into classic.
classics, yeah.
And then I remember the first wave for Super 7 Ultimates was like, I think it was like October 2019.
Yeah, it was
And
like
so
it was like late 2019 when they started doing it, and like I mean, in toys, like they take a while. It's not like like, I mean, we know from Super 7 they give us renders, and then we don't see the figures till a year and a half later.
right. And so like yeah, and so with the turtles, like I mean, and it's easier for Playmates to churn them out because like the molds are already done. They don't
Right,
really, and we kind of know they don't do a whole lot of like QA testing on paint and stuff.
right.
So yeah, they can just turn around and start pumping stuff out. Whereas Super 7 doesn't really have the ability to do that.
No, they don't have the
So
ability
it
because they
just
have to go and make that. So like that all they have to go, like everything they have to retool, and they have to base it off of like the figures like they actually like have. It's not like Playmates is supplying them. Oh hey, here's our mold if you want to like blow
right.
it up. Like they don't have that access or anything like that. They're doing it all basically from hand on their end. So but again, like you know, I mean, but at the same time, like this is the stuff that we do know. At the same time, it could be that like all this is just for not, and like maybe like Super 7 still has it, and they just decided, hey, we just decided not to. I mean, that's like not. I don't think that is, but we
Yeah.
we really don't know. But for people wondering why we have Rocker Leo, is because the thing is that uh, Rocker Leo was not like he was one that was in other designs, like he was in other merchandising uh, images, and so
Yeah, he
from that
was
interview that
Rocker Leo was a cap to Bubble Bath.
yeah, and Von Michael, he actually shared with me that there was actually stickers of all the Rocker Turtles.
Yeah,
Um,
he and I had talked about that too. So
yeah.
yeah, like
So
there were sticker sets, and then it's
yeah,
like a thermos in Italy.
yeah, yeah.
Like
And so from the interview that I have, from the one quote of the interview, because like literally I'm going for one quote from Brian, and like this is like I really want to stress this, like it's not like I personally have not found the actual interview. I'm just going for what's in the quotes. But they have to basically prove to Playmates that it is that the design is not did not only originate from the 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 toy, that it actually there were other examples
Right.
like for that. And so that's the deal. That's as much as I know. And as I said, and I'll share Mike with the screenshot that I found and everything. But at the same time, it could be someone just wrote that stuff in quotes, and I'm just and it's like a misquote, and just someone just made this up, and I'm now contributing to the lie.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Robert says, I think it was last year or the year before that he got the rice turtles for like $5 each. I did too. I got them on clearance for like $4 each.
I
And then
ended
I
up
went and I bought the battle shell turtles because those had more accurate, like
yeah
show accurate heads. So I took those heads off and put them on the wave one bodies. And those are my those are my
yeah
display turtles now.
I
And then
bought.
Jake says also Leo's accessories aren't the same as the vintage.
That's
He
correct.
checked them out, and Wave 9 of the TMNT line doesn't have the weapons rack either. Yeah, we knew the weapons rack was gone.
Yeah, we knew the
Um,
weapons rack was gone, and like if you go back to like one of my older videos, I mentioned like, oh, I think they took the weapons rack to save cost, to keep that $55 price without raising it even further, because I think the wave that took out the weapons rack was the wave that Gorilla was in. And because Gorilla got like that big price hike, while the other were still $55, and that was like, oh, there's no weapons rack. But
yeah,
and like, if what I found is true, it makes sense. And to be honest, like, it also could be reason why the Super 7's turtle van doesn't look like a toy either. And like, I would suspect around that time is like where they kind of like had to put in the kibosh into it. But like, uh the thing is, like, I mean, I don't think either Super 7 or Playmates will come out and like say it. Like, don't expect like, a freaking like press conference coming out. Brian Flynn comes out, and the head of Playmates coming like, oh,
yeah.
we want to address this issue that you guys might have, and
That's
like,
that's what
it's
I was
like,
saying. Like they're not there.
yeah,
We're most likely never going to know
yeah,
what happened.
we're never
Like
gonna.
not verbatim. We
Right.
will probably get. I think Super 7 they need to come out and do like a new mission statement
Yeah,
and just say like and just in the most like PR friendly way,
yeah,
just be like, hey, we're changing directions with the line.
yeah.
Um,
I think they need to do that. I I really think Super 7 and their announcement video for Racking, they should have said, "Oh, we were basing this off loosely basing this off the video game." And because I think if they did that at first, like, oh, I think people would have been more accepting, and like, I mean, no matter what, people are going to be like, "Oh,
well,
we're
I think part of that is like they I don't know. I don't know what was going on through Kyle's head.
right."
I'm it kind of tells me that like maybe he saw that somewhere and like was like, "Oh yeah, that's it."
Yeah.
I don't
And but
I'm not saying that was I'm
but
not
yeah,
saying that was how they did it, but
yeah,
it's just
I mean, because like that's the thing, like, because I I personally, I don't buy that this is supposed to be Shrimp's Revenge a Rat King, because if it is, this is a poor way to convey it, because I don't look at this as Shredder's Revenge Rat King at all. But
yeah, like
if it
you
was,
should be able to like make that a big announcement like, "Hey, we're doing characters based off of Shredder's Revenge."
right.
That's huge because like that's video game like more video game specific characters
Yeah,
that
that's
like
more video
NECA's
game,
not
and
doing.
that would be our first Shredder's Revenge specific character that we
Yeah.
had. But like, you know, I mean, because they addressed Casey. But like, Racking, they're just like, oh, here's Racking, and then just
Yeah.
left him, and I think his face is too young to me. That's just me personally. Uh, I mean this one, to be honest, for me, if it goes on an outlet deal on Entertainment Earth, I will pick it up. Um, I mean, but if I miss it, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be sad about it. But if you guys do want it, the pre-order links are in our video description. So if you want to pre-order these, you can also pre-order from Super7 itself, and it is free shipping, and that is amazing news because the shipping costs for these figures were always a big detriment on my end on like whether to pre-order these or not.
Yeah, I mean, which I said earlier was nice that Super 7 was offering free shipping directly through them.
Yeah,
Uh, Jake mentions he agrees
Mike was saying something.
legality issue to not mentioning what's going on. Um, Plus, if they come out and say we're doing something different, they might fear mass cancellations, which
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, absolutely, yeah,
absolutely that is a big fear for them.
yeah,
But it, it's one of those things that's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
right.
Like they are not in a good, in a good position.
I mean, they're an awful position, especially like I mean, if they pre-order through Super 7, I mean, they're locked in. They've already paid. They would have to like contact their customer service to cancel those pre-orders, as opposed to people who did it through Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, where they can actually simply just cancel their pre-order. Um, uh, but it is like it is something that like if all of a sudden they come on and say, "Hey, we can't go this direction anymore." I mean, you'll probably see a lot of people be like, "Well, I was collecting it because you're doing this," and you'll get some mass cancellation. And I mean, I but they should. I really think they should like update the mission statement to be something like it's PR friendly, just something like, "Oh, hey, our job is
Yeah,
to get it that classic retro feel as you did when you grew up with these in the 80s," which I always hate
right.
when people say Ninja Turtles are from the 80s because they're more of a 90s thing. But I mean, it did start in 87. But I
But
think,
so
yeah,
Super 7's just not in a good position.
yeah,
They do need to say something.
yeah,
At least just update the mission statement.
yeah, yeah.
Just be like,
Just
hey,
update.
we're gonna change lanes. Um, because yeah, it's so obvious that something is going on, and they're really only hurting themselves, by people getting mad at them. Like their customers are getting mad at them. They might be pissing off Playmates and Nick.
Right.
Like they've got to do something.
Yeah, yeah, no,
So,
they definitely got to do something, and I mean, like first, I don't think they owe us anything. I don't think they owe us like complete transparency because, like, probably for legality reasons, they probably can't, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
we're most likely never going to get
yeah,
fully detailed, like this is what happened, it's all
right.
so and so's fault. Like we're
Right, right,
never
right,
gonna
right,
get
right.
that.
We'll get it in Brian Flynn's tell-all book,
Yeah,
20
like Brian
years
Flynn's
down.
gonna be on his Brian Flynn's gonna be on his deathbed, and we'll probably find out
We'll
what's
probably
happened.
like find out the
But
truth. And
until then, yeah, we're never gonna get like the ins and outs of
right,
whose fault it is.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
because like that's career suicide. Like
Yeah,
that's killing
exactly.
his company.
Yeah, it would kill his
So
company, especially how well the turtles have been doing. They don't want to lose the turtles, and so they gotta play nice with their people, and I mean, at least this isn't like the Simpsons like smoking issue where
mm,
like I did totally like call it like when I saw that it was Krusty had like some cigarettes, and I was like, oh, Disney's not gonna allow
yeah,
that, and like people were like, why, this is not for kids. I'm like, no, Disney is very anti-smoking. They're not gonna like they stopped smoking in The Simpsons. Like even, oh my gosh, Hell's Kitchen, they've actually stopped smoking. And it's like so like I'm like now watching like the first like Disney produced season of that show, and
Mm.
like when they're sitting around, like they have like edited and to make it look like instead of that cigarette smoke, it looks like incense.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's so weird. But
But yeah,
yeah, that's everything that we have for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much, Jake, and I'm so glad you enjoyed this discussion. And thank you for finding us. I don't think I've seen his name in here before. So, but thank you, Jake. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, my lovely wife Anna, for also joining in. And the full audio podcast will be coming out this Thursday while we take a look at the episode, What is Michelangelo Good For? And spoilers, they don't address that in the episode. It's so weird.
they really don't.
Yeah. All right. Till next time, guys.